What are you getting? All right, guys, welcome to Edutainment for Us for our last video of the day. I hope you watched our premiere. I also saw a lot of you watching our political reaction. So welcome to the social reaction, and we are focusing on different personnels: Bahati, the singer, OGA OBINNAs the top, and Nyabohan's staff. So welcome, and feel at home. I really welcome you back to this channel as we start our reaction for the night. So during the day, I really did a lot on Life Saga as well as Edutainment for Us, and I really appreciate your presence. Guys, we are into another moment to actually check on Bahati apology. How many of you have watched his apology after he sang a very inciting song? Of course, a song that was considered so unappreciative to God. Of course, there were two songs that he released. That was last week when he had to offer an apology. And of course, that apology took a lot of minutes, almost 9. We will just run through and see how he gave an apology to Kenyans. And of course, this is after he looked like he was disrespecting God, because people know that Bahati, if not for gospel music, he would be a nobody. But then later on, after he became famous, people feel like he's not recalling where he came from. So let's get to see the apology. And of course, a lot of people reacted towards this, but I'm reacting today because everybody has their own day. So welcome once more to the channel, and feel free to respond. The only thing that I will urge us is to react, or rather respond respectfully towards whatever we are doing here, okay? Yeah, so I'm checking on his real channel to see his apology. And from his apology, I want us to see, do you think he was genuine? All right, that is my focus. Do you think he was genuine in his apology? And after that, we'll be going to Obinna and finally end with the Nyabohan's drama. So let's start with Bahati. And of course, I hope that all of you have watched him earlier on and seen what he did and why he was being actually requested to do an apology. And finally, he came out to give it. So let's analyze the apology and see whether it was a drama, another drama, or a real apology. Okay? So let's check on this.
Messages, from close friends, fans, pastors, and even strangers. Since I made my musical comeback with Seti, and I didn't want to just reply anyone based on emotions, because I respect you all. I wanted to write a statement, but because this is a matter that I would like to address from my heart, I chose to sit down and talk to you. Fam, I request a few minutes of your time as I share with you my heart.
So, of course, Bahati came out and he started by saying farm. And that is one of the things that people have really critiqued, including Obinna. Obinna was laughing so much and saying, really? Like, Bahati, where did you grow up that you finally changed and you're talking about farm? Obinna was like, I am, I can't imagine myself even using the word farm. And I was like, okay, so there are words that some people don't use. So I just want you to also look at the reaction Obinna gave. And I found it fun. Most times these reactions just give us entertainment. And I want you to look at this Obinna reacting to it, especially the part of of farm. Okay, so let's look at this. So welcome once more. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and if you are a member, kindly just like the video or follow up what we are doing right here. So this is what Obinna reacted.
Everybody got it. Top is in the building. That's what's up. How you guys doing, man? Yeah, it's a beautiful morning in Nairobi. The sun is out. I'm on my way to the Gulf Coast. Woo! Let me go and learn some more. Yeah. Anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. I want to talk about Bahati. So a lot has been happening the last few days in my life. So I've not been on the digital space sana nikiangalia nini nafanyika nini, so we can talk about it. But sasa jana jioni, I think it's now when I saw Bahati's video. There you go. I saw Bahati's video ya ile apology. So nimeona hiyo nyingine kwa gari. He said some valid points kwa hiyo ya gari pia as well. But Bahati ni Bahati tu. Sasa yeye ategemee bahati yake tuone kutakuwaje. And also I'm gonna be with Bahati in Lodwa on, I think it's on the 7th. We're going to Sport Lounge. So at Lodwa Taonoko. Anywho, this is what I want to say. So Bahati's apology, I was listening to it. First of all, the first, I think 2 paragraphs of first paragraph. I'm like, okay, first of all, Bahati, you had to read that. Like, you really had to read that. Like, come on, man. So I'm like, no, you come to Okay. However, what really stood out in the whole apology was something for me. Bahati called us fam. Fam. F-A-M. Fam. I mean, what's up, fam? You know, fam. Hey, fam, you know. Fam. Fam. Bahati fam. Mtoto wa Madari. Fam. Bwana rudia speech bwana, ndicho speech tena. Waheshimiwa, before mtusome speech.
So Obinna actually came out to disregard the fact that Bahati had started the apology with the word farm. According to him, farm is supposed to be used by kids like Mike Songo's daughter, maybe, and such people, not just anybody. So he was looking at Bahati and he was like, okay, Bahati, you did an apology, yes, we agree. But why did you have to read? That is one thing also I was looking at. I was like, Bahati, were you reading ChatGPT or what specifically made you read? Because you know what you did. You are the singer of Sechu. You know what you did in that song. You know how disrespectful the song looked like. You know how that song actually did not go well, or rather, occur well in the faces of those who know you from the religious perspective. Because of course, we know that Bahati walked away from gospel singing and he's now doing more of, classical songs, whatever it is. But now the song Sechu, I know some of you have not watched it. Please go and watch if you have the heart to stand that. But it's more of a dirty song, if I can say in my raw words. So that song actually did not please a lot of people, because people are like, now you want to force our kids. Most of our kids watch Bahati. So you want our kids to go and watch this kind of pornography? It was more of pornography actually, and twerking and extreme twerking. Extreme twerking. So it was not a song that anybody wants to actually hear. All right? Nobody wanted to see this song like twice. When I remember my friend told me, have you seen Bahati has released a song? And I was like, let me see. Then I went and watched. I regretted. Because I said, hey, my goodness, if people are going to watch this song, what will they say? I don't want to say much, but what I saw was just directly opposite to what we saw Bahati singing those times with Gloria and himself and all that. And I was like, hey, people change. So Bahati has really changed even in his music to this level. The next thing that followed was the wife. The wife had to actually engage from this kind of music and tell people that, remember, what my husband does is not related to my brand, because she's a brand. She's a brand. She does a lot of gigs and collaborations and kind of work for many other organizations. So she had to distance herself from these shenanigans and told everybody that she was not in the mess. And it was that. But then I think Bahati went and sat down and saw how many people are really asking, and especially the pastors. Pastors actually began to send him some messages, and they began to tell him that whatever he has done is very wrong and it may possibly bring him down. Of course, I don't want to go deep into that, but there were some messages which were sent by pastors who warned him that if he doesn't change, then possibly whatever he's doing may bring him down. And I think after that, then he sat down and did something and organized on what we say an apology. But unfortunately, how do you write an apology and read to us? Actually, I am agreeing with Obinna, because you don't write an apology then read to people. No. If you have written an apology and it's sincerely from the deepest part of your heart, then you are supposed to just say it, because you are the one who did a wrong. You know the wrongs you did. You know the people you messed with. You know the kind of, the realm, generally the realm that is affected by what you did. So why should you read an apology? You don't have to. So when I look at this, let's go together as we look into what Bahati was doing, because I've not been having time to actually listen to this. Most times I've wanted to go through it, but I've always missed on time to look into this. So let's go and together listen to what he's telling us after telling us farm. And OGA OBINNAs is like, no, Bahati, you can't call that farm. You can't use the word farm, really.
So today I'm marking 10 years in the music scene. And I want to start by saying thank you for your support. Your support that has kept me on top for all those years. It's been 10 good years. It's not because I'm the best singer or entertainer. As the book of Zechariah 4:6 says, it's not by might or by power, but by his grace that has been upon me. That's why I am where I am today. And, it's been a journey. I first hit to stardom at the age of 18, straight from the children's home where I grew up, and all I wanted was success. The hustle, the struggle. And I was hoping that, gaining a spot at the top will help me change my testimony. And God was faithful. My dreams came true. As a young person, I agree. And I really agree that I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. I have lost the way severally. I've let down some people that look up to me.
It's so funny. So guys, this Bahati actually came up to say that he is addressing farm, and I was like, Bahati, are you sure that the pastors would actually collaborate with you as you are using the word farm, and you are telling people that, yeah, I came from children's home and now farm. So I was like, do the people even in the children's home now relate with Bahati as he says farm? Okay. Skamarwa is here watching from the bushes. Welcome. Diamond Lab Diagnostics Taste says, you were in which children home? So he has not told us, of course, but we know he used to be on the streets, of course, at some point, and then he was secured to a children's home. But then, currently, the way he carries himself, it's questionable. NXS World says hello to you and welcome here. So, when I go back to OGA OBINNA's laughter, I'm almost also just blasting into laughter. Let's look at this.
Make sure that your speechwriter understands you, understand where you come from, what you symbolize, what you identify with. So when they write your speech, it sounds like you. But I did a farm. Farm. I do farm si shamba. Family short for my family. But ni lingo, it is a lingo that is used by my cool kids. Unaona? Mimi hata mimi mwenyewe siwezi tumia farm. Mimi si cool kid. Maybe my kids might, if I work hard enough, they might be using the word farm, farm, what a dog, nini. Hizo vitu. Also, I'm a travel, I'm a some of group of schools, nini. I don't mean a farm. Morgan alikuanga group of schools, ndio. Morgan, wacha kwa jisia baba. Morgan, stop writing.
Oh my God. So according to Obinna, this report, or rather what this guy was reading was possibly written by his son. Okay? So he comes here to read to us an apology. How do you read an apology? I don't understand. And what I like about some people is that they say if they work so hard, even though they have already worked hard and we can see evidence, but they say if I work so hard, then maybe my children will consider themselves. But then there are people out there, they always tell us, I work 4 hard, I work 5 hard, I work 3 hard. Okay, let me spare that because I'm coming to that. I'm coming to Marwa's and Dimwango very, very soon, and Matiko's drama. But for just some minutes, let's spend on Bahati, because he's also a Kenyan doing a lot of mess here and there. And now he's telling us he has done so many mistakes. And, he's just taking it literally. Anyway, our analysis into apology is coming to an end. Before we get to the Marwa drama, and we will finalize with OGA OBINNA at the top.
To some point, I've lost your trust, and I understand. But I believe I've done my best. I've done my best as a young man whose life has grown in the public eye.
Okay.
Subject to criticism, I've always tried my best without pretense to share with you both my success and my failures.
Okay.
As this is the only way I can inspire my generation.
Okay. Which
by
is your
being
generation?
An open book so that my peers can study where I go wrong and take notes of the things I've done right.
Okay.
I'm not perfect. I may not be perfect. I'm not planning to be perfect. But I will forever be real to you, my people.
Okay.
Yes, I was just a boy, but at least before my mom went to be with the Lord, she had instilled in me the importance of education. So I went to the children's home to seek a chance for education. Not because I knew the importance of education, but I went to the children's home because I did not want to let my legs.
Yeah, so at least there is someone agreeing with me that this is a scripted apology. Because a sincere apology, you don't have to read. And you don't have to pause and look at it. You don't have to. You know what you have done in your life since you started as a young boy, since your mother died, since you went to the street, since you were in children's home, and after you became famous. So you can actually talk through the journey and appreciate the audience for supporting you, and then tell them that you are sorry for having produced a very vulgar and an unsuitable song for most of the people who are disagreeing with you without necessarily reading. But I'm looking at him, I'm like, that is ChatGTP apology. ChatGTP is messing people big time. People don't want to work anymore. They don't want to think. They don't want to actually create on their own. They just want to look at scripts and do it, ChatGTP has made us so lazy, So welcome, Canadian Prospect. Thank you so much for being here. And anybody else watching, welcome to the house and like the video. But what do you think about this apology? Because I looked at it and I was like, I think he was just trying to cool down the tempers of the many people who are attacking him, especially the pastors and what have you. And you know, recently, actually, Bahati goes to the stage and is dancing with Ruto in a thong. And we had a lot of celebrities talking about it. I don't know what you think about that at the same time. Pauline Mbaye, welcome. So we saw Willie Paul. Willie Paul had to actually snap him up for having put on a thong when going to perform with on the platform where the president was. And those are just events that are following each other. Of course, the thong issue came up like 5 days ago. So guys, things are happening out there. I don't know. And Bahati is just like, I've gone through so many mistakes. I know I've done this, but I'm a human being. I'm not perfect. I'm like, of course, we are never perfect, but sometimes there are extremes we don't go to. There are some extremes we don't just go to, because if you watch that song, Sechu, for those of you who have not watched, please go and watch. Maybe you'll understand why people are so mad at Bahati, and then you will understand why we are also analyzing his apology. He's just taking it casually, you know, according to me. According to me, he's just taking it casually, like, at least I had a dream, and now the dream is realized, and anyway, I've messed with you, I'm sorry, but it's not coming from the deepest of his heart. I can't feel that apology. Yeah, so anyway, so Oga Obinna laughed at this a lot. Yeah?
Bahati. Bahati. Are you sure you? Are you sure that song is for God? Are you sure God knows? No, but God knows by Bahati. Because you are the Mungu na Mungu ni yako. That was something. I looked at it, I was like, personally, I was identifying with the whole story of him saying about how he's been bullied and whatever with the guy.
Yeah, so of course, in the apology, Bahati came up to show the bullying process he went through as a young person, the unrealistic aspect of his life and all that. Pauline Bae says, what is the name of the song, please, for the sake of those who may not be? I said, Seti. Seti. Okay? Pauline Bae. The song is called Seti. S-E-T-I. You can go and watch it. Seti. That song was a very funny song. Funny. I'm using a very neutral word, funny, but maybe you can define that song in a very different way depending on whoever it is. You know, some people may be happy about it, but generally looking at some of us who have kids and saying that maybe kids might be interested to look at it, I said, oh my God, Bahati, no. So now Bahati, in his apology, actually promised to sing for God a song as an apology also. And we are like, okay, maybe we are human beings, we are judging. Maybe God will not. So,
society and family morals.
oh my
I
God.
apologize for all the times you feel like I don't act like a responsible father, both to my kids and the kids
Of other
that
people.
follow me. I apologize for all the times you feel like I've let down Christianity. But most importantly, you know, to my Father in heaven,
Okay.
Lord Jesus, my God, the one that knows my heart, forgive me of my sins. I'm just a man.
Really? And you are reading as you are apologizing to God. If I want to apologize to God, I'll just kneel down and look in heaven. We always believe heaven is up. I don't know why. And then I talk to God and say, God, really forgive me for this and this and this. Of course, even if you have had 10 sins, even 10 sins, you can list them and even explore without reading. But the fact that he read the apology, the fact that he was talking literally in a body language that was not looking like an apology, it's quite questionable. And of course,
You won't believe what just went down between Bahati, Iamarwa and Willy Paul. The internet is on fire after Willy Paul just went nuclear, calling out Bahati for wearing Diana's redless thong on camera.
Alafu wale mnavaa mathong pia muache. Tunawajua.
And Willy Paul didn't hold back, blasting Bahati in a savage Instagram post, saying, "Stop this madness," and even hinting that Bahati has lost all respect. But that is not all. Wait until you see what Diana Bahati herself has done, and why fans are saying that this might be the end of Team Bahati as we know it. This is not just about the thong.
Imagine. So this is exactly what this guy is going into. Yeah, so remember, Bahati is actually now taking up like wearing thongs, wearing the wife's thongs, and I'm like, what is this? And on camera, you know, he does that on camera, and he knows a lot of kids follow him, you know, a lot of kids follow him. So I don't know. If kids actually look at this, they should understand some of these things Bahati is doing are not right. They are not right for the kids. We have kids going for holiday for 2 good months, and they'll be checking out what has Bahati done, what has Diana B done, what has Willy Paul done, what has this done. You know, the kids during holiday, that's what they do. If they have internet in the house, for example, they'll keep checking on so many things on the internet. And if we have popular people in the country doing such things, some of the kids will be lost because they'll think they can now put on a thong. A boy can put on a thong. My goodness. Anyway, I've talked so much about this. I hope I'm not ranting. But it was just a mess. And a lot of pastors were so annoyed at Bahati, and they had to actually talk to him, or rather address him. And at the end of the day, we saw he sang a song. I don't know how genuine it was. You know, even these days songs, you just put lines on ChatGTP. You instruct ChatGTP, I want a song with this and this and this. It writes for you. You go to Suno, it gives you the tune and you sing. That is why people are releasing songs so fast. So again, as he told people that he wants to sing, he released a song. Sometimes the Bahati songs, when you play them even for a minute, they actually create copyright on the camera. So I'll just show the song. He released a song now in apology to God. I don't know how genuine this was because it's like he's staged. He tells people an apology, then he says, I'm releasing a song, then he releases a day after. This is a staged thing, so I didn't see as if it was actually sincere. So I'm not going to play the tune loudly, but I'll show the pictures, and if you can go check on the song, it's called Bahati Umenipendelea. Okay? So you can check on it and see that. This is the song. Okay. So to me, if you may ask me, I don't think there is any there is no genuine aspect in whatever he said. I think it was just a kind of way to hike the views on his song that he was going to release and confuse the audience, because they have been watching him because of gospel, then they have been following up his life, but of late, he has been so erroneous in whatever choices and decisions he does. I don't know what he wants the kids to do, or rather to take up from him. Anyway, now let's get to OGA OBINNA, then we come back to Nyabohanse for you. So I've decided to start with away from Nyabohanse so that people don't say Nyabohanse all the time. So OGA Obinna has been following up a case after defamation. And of course, the case has come to an end, and he's going to be paid 6.1 million Kenyan shillings for defamation. All right? Yeah. Canadian Prospect says it's a teaser, not an apology attempt. Yeah, true. That's what I feel. Thank you for giving that view. So, Obinna has actually been awarded 6.1 million Kenyan shillings in a defamation case. For those of you who didn't know, OGA Obinna has actually been having a case against a radio station, plus Black Africa, plus some other individuals. Let me just come out with evidence on this, information on this. So finally, he has won a 6.1 million Kenyan shilling payment that is supposed to be receiving. So if you check on the news, you will see this, and he had to celebrate greatly for this win against Radio Jambo. Okay, so if you actually take to social media, you realize that this was announced as a win in court. Obinna relayed that he had filed a defamation suit a year ago, and he had been battling across actually, you know, in Kenya currently, when people come out on social media and talk about you, whatever they say, people will buy it as true. And they may even run away from you if you are a brand. So OGA Obinna has testified that he lost a lot of brands, he lost a lot of support, he lost a lot of trust from subscribers to sponsors to brands that wanted to work with him. Now, what happened is he had filed a defamation suit a year ago after socialites went on Masawe Japanese show Radio Jambo and made damning allegations against him. So I hope you remember that case. So according to Obinna, actually the show host had not sought evidence from him. You know, when someone comes to you in an interview, you are supposed to seek information from the other side to prove beyond reasonable doubt that whatever is being said is true. But the allegations were made on air, and the guy just kept quiet, and Obinna faced very severe criticism on social media and actually in real life. So according to him, he really had to go through a lot of trauma and loss, financial and social loss. So the defendants in defamation laws actually were Radio Africa Group, radio personality Masawe Japani, and the socialite who made those allegations. So Obinna had to file a case against Radio Jambo for defamation about a year ago, and he has finally won. Today is the day he won that case for the defamatory remarks that were made against him. So, of course, most times it is very important that when you are making very severe defamation remarks about somebody, be sure that it should be truthful and you have evidence, or else it can take you to a very bad end. Though those who can raise such cases need a heart, because it can be pulled for long, it needs a financial muscle, and sometimes you need that support from those who may be giving the evidence. So, according to Obinna, she gets invited for an interview by Masawe on her show, and that airs Radio Jambo, and she went on and did the same remarks. So the host and the producers never asked for evidence from him, and they just did it maybe to get views and likes and whatever. So he pointed out that previously he had worked with Masawe on OFM and Radio Africa. So he would have expected this guy to come and confirm from him, but he never did so. So despite the story resulting in such effect on him, they never even apologized, you know, because he says if they apologized, he would have forgotten about it. But they damaged his brand. He lost a lot of brands. He lost a lot of sponsors, and they didn't care. So when he filed the case, actually Obinna said that the socialites never turned up in court. even after being summoned. And up to now, they are still looking for that individual. So while delivering a ruling, Senior Principal Magistrate Edward Toh issued an injunction barring the defendants from publishing similar defamatory remarks on Obinna. And out of the 6.1 million payout that was awarded to Obinna, 5 million is to be paid for general damages. Can you imagine? 500,000 is supposed to be paid for aggravated damages, then additional 500,000 for damages in lieu of an apology, and 100,000 for exemplary damages. So Obinna, who has also worked as a radio presenter for several radio stations, including Kiss 100 and National FM, has urged Kenyans to actually stop defaming him. He will sue them and get the money. So that's what actually he said as he was celebrating. I want us to get to the video where OGA Obinna had to cry over this case. So I want us to check on this. Then we go to Nyabohanse very fast. And this is it. I need a video where he was celebrating. Where is this? Is it the Instagram? Alright, so I want to get that video and I'm not getting it that fast. I don't know what to do. If I don't get it, you forgive me and you'll bear with me as I move on to the next level. And please, if you are new, subscribe to the channel, please, and like the video. I only have 2 likes, but so many people have been watching, some watching and going. And so please subscribe to the channel. Yeah.
You can't just destroy people without facing repercussions. Willis Otieno, the legal eagle who delivered this victory, deserves his flowers. OGA Obinna's plan for the money is both practical and symbolical. He's laying the foundation for a house, but not just any house. A house built with pesa za haters. Every brick in that za haters. It will be built not just with bricks and mortar, but with justice, with truth, with vindication, and with the knowledge that in the end, in the final analysis, when all of the noises dies down and the dust settles, truth always wins. If this story inspired you, if it taught you...
Alright, so I was looking for that video, but I'm only able to pick some part of it from Celebrity Drama Files. So, of course, OGA Obinna was celebrating and saying that he's going to use that money to build a house so that the defamers, those people who defamed him, will actually watch out as he uses the house to make his life better. So defamation actually is a serious crime, and it only calls upon people to check on whatever they say. And of course, you remember the specific claims that were laid against OGA Obinna were to do with the sexual harassment, which is a serious allegation to make of somebody. And remember, such an accusation will lead to so many brands running away from somebody. And if you can check on details, maybe you'll understand the details of the case. Otherwise, having gone through 39 minutes of that, we can now go back to Nyabohanse and look at much of the stuff right there. So, of course, what just happened in Nyabohanse is something that we have to understand. So, as Matiko actually ran away from Devi Jr. and started now relating with Gintu. I don't know whether there is any plan, but all of us had the caller. We don't know whether it was staged, but we had the caller clearly pointing out the projects he was going to do for Matiko. But we will only trust this once we see. You know, the drama in Nyabohanzi is just too much. You will never know who is who. We will never know who is who. Sometimes you hear this today, tomorrow you hear something else. So until we see the house picking up, we may never know what is going to happen. Pauline Mbaye says, sincerely, I love your modesty in this. Please keep the platform alive to shape our children. Thank you so much for your comment, Pauline Mbaye, and I really appreciate. So one thing that I've actually seen in Nyabohanse, I don't know what happens and why people are taking a lot of liquor in that place, but you know, when an environment is full of people maybe who are brewing, then it really affects the lives of the people. And I'm so sorry that when a given village, people are brewing a lot, it is very, there are high chances in modern society to have even young kids starting to take liquor at a tender age, or maybe those who finish Form 4. You know, they feel like they are free and they can start their free life, and at the end of the day, they ruin themselves. So it has happened that Nyabohanze, when you look at there are two classes or three. Middle class, we have the lower class and the upper class. The upper class are doing well, and therefore they have realized that this lower class are desperate. So they let them, you know, like wallow in poverty and suffer their problems. So when they come to them, even with a small problem like, I am sick and I need money, they tell them, what do you have to offer? And these people say, we want to sell land. And of course, the rich now buy that land. And when they buy that land, that money that the family gets is not very much of use, because that family now uses it just on liquor. And there is a generational liquor intake that goes on in families, so that you tend to see specific people in Nyabohanse family, or rather Nyamweni or wherever, they are just drinking and drinking. Whereas we have now the elite, those people have now known that liquor is not important. They know that they need to struggle and build their life. They are doing very big stuff, you know, and they are exposed to the world. So they have connections to donors, sponsors, and so they get what they have to get. But at the same time, they make sure they suppress the low class, which is unfortunate. And when you talk about it, sometimes people feel bad. They think we are attacking, but we just wish well for this village, actually, or any other village. It's not the only village I know. Even in other villages, the same might be happening. Only that they are not maybe on the limelight. We have not seen them on YouTube. And we are only talking about that village which has come to the YouTube openly. And we know maybe people will be watching us from other villages where the same is happening, and they can come out and actually share, so that if we realize that there is a village also going through the same, we'll talk about it. We don't go in isolation and talk about Nyabohanse alone. Even if my village is practicing the same, I'll talk about it. If I see another village elsewhere doing the same, I'll talk about it. And therefore, somehow I blame those who are elites, because they already know what is there. And if you keep people poor and suppress them at that level, you don't make things better, because these people will become a nuisance to you as a family, as the elite later. They can even attack you from your gates. They can easily attack you. They have nothing to hold on for life. So they don't even care why they should live or what they should do. You know, these are things that happen. And in reality, for example, if you have lived in Runda, you know very well the neighboring Kawangware becomes a threat. If you have lived in estates like, let's say, Upper Hill, you know very well that Kibera becomes a threat. If you have lived in, let's say, Bahati and where, these, you know, the elite areas, satellites, for example, Kibera becomes a threat. When you live in Tasha and wherever, the places like Changombe becomes a threat. And therefore, there is a situation whereby whether it's rural or urban center, it's not very fair to make the poor to continue, wallowing in poverty and making use of their wealth, the little property they have, especially land, taking it away as they remain squatters. Because in the end of the day, the suffering will come to you. Now, in this Nyabohanza, you have middle class as well. And this middle class are struggling to become the elite. And they are also trying to learn tactics from the elite. And that is why we mostly talk about Nyabohanze, but people think that we hate anybody or we are interested in anything. There is no interest we have in this because we have our own villages we come from. We have other places we need to also explore. But it is what it is. If you know, you know. If you don't know, forget about it. So let's get to a different aspect of our story because we have already explored enough here. So let's get to this.
Craving something real? We serve it. Burger King, serving realness. Order now.
Okay, what you're listening to me?
Let me skip this.
Haters now they're outside, they're looking like, what's up, what's going on? Me, I have no problem, and this like me, I'm just doing it from the bottom of my heart, you know. Alright guys, this is a continuation of my previous video. Now we are so none of them with So grandma, she's saying there is no dirty person because Mwita used to be in an awkward situation. But right now, everything is amazing. Okay guys, we're heading to our quiet grandma. And this will be kind of a reunion for the dancing and the quiet grandma.
The reunion, guys.
I promise. Today, I have to buy the curtains. This is very unfortunate.
So when I look at David Jr., I just find drama in his videos. So he gets to invade people's homes, take videos, and show on camera. What I understand is that even though I may be helping people in my village or whatever it is, but should I really practically be showing the videos to everybody who is watching my videos? I don't just know. Maybe he has learned the tactic that sponsors really like that, or whatever it is. I just don't know. But when I see him pulling things like this in people's windows, I just need someone to make me understand why.
It's because I'm always busy, guys, moving from one place to the other. But honestly, I have to buy the curtains. You know, here. Actually, there are two curtains, actually. Imagine, for just this window, it's very... Oh, God is so good, guys. Especially if, you know, people have genuine intentions, you know. God will never forsake such people.
On too much sun.
Ay, sasa ndio nimekuambia.
Oh my God. So I just kept watching this video as David Jr. was very, quick to send away some lady who came for support. According to him, somebody had sent him. Now, on the other hand, Matiko is battling with David Jr. because after actually the subscriber who was on the end of David Jr. called and said, promise to build a house for Matiko and also bring a chicken project. Now Matiko is making sure that he's bumper to bumper with the family. Now he dropped a video to alert us that maybe the family has been reported by to the DCI. And I'm like, why should people keep misusing the police? I don't think everything has to be solved by the police. Some things can be sorted out in a dialogue or whichever way. But in Nyabohanza, everything is solved by the police. The police should solve things that are extreme, but not where it comes to if someone has to go to a home or not, or such things. So I don't know why the DCI are involved, but let's check here briefly and see.
Whatever you are, and...
What is this?
And also supporting and talking about Gintu. This is my encouragement to you as we carry out and go forward despite so many people who are coming out. We understand also fools or old grow fools, or fools also grows old. We understand. To the comment section, you can understand and occupy that space and know things gonna be cooking out very nicely. To this kind of the point, we have seen how things are moving, and including today, as I'm gonna be representing this kind of the home, as I'm gonna be saying this as a breaking news. I was called and I was doing the service of my bike because after every 500 kilometers, it's always going to the service to make sure that the filters, to make sure that the air cleaners.
The drama in Nyabohansa will not cease. When I look at this, I just find a problem with this village.
Then I
Serious.
talked about, yes, it's Gintu. Bro, I'm calling you from the DCI office, and I need you to come to the DCI office as we're going to be making sure that we are handling and sorting out some issues that have been raised, and the claims are here to the DCI office, and we're going to be knowing what is really happening. As I go direct, I talked about, okay, let me finish my service. I'm going to be coming there. Give me a 20 minutes. Then, before even the 20 minutes could just end up, I just rushed to the research to understand what is popping out. If I could be a criminal, I understand it's a Directorate of Criminal Investigation, and they can investigate even if you are not a criminal. They're going to be identifying and they will release you if you are not found guilty. And they're just there to make sure you're going to be getting the criminal. I'm just not understanding which kind of the criminological circumstances or sections am I prevailing with at this kind of the home. Number one, they ask talking about we have been getting the cases from my friend here, and who was just representing here, taking and going, which is bringing and taking at this kind of the moment. And they talked about, okay, let me understand what is popping out. He had already went there and told the DCI, like, he owns this family, and I'm taking over from his position, which is the first thing I will just talk about is I'm just not understanding. Is it a real, like, somebody can own a family? Is it a real thing? So when are we going for? You know, guys, in Africa also, we have the greetings. When you hear this kind of the greeting, getting that way, you know you are in good terms. You are in good terms, and it say, "Pop," you are in good terms, and everything's off and that. But whenever it say, that is not. So that one it is clicking and you are hitting yourselves.
Of course. So Canadian Prospect says, this man English is very weird. He speaks it absurdly with a level of confidence. Of course, it's only confidence that has favored Gintu. And even Mayugno. These people are so funny. And I also listened to this other guy, Mapopo. Was it Mapopo or Mapopo? And the other one, the Burundi guy. So these people in Nyabohansa have had a favor of YouTube anyway, as Marwa always says that he has brought the table, table to their faces. Anyway, so Gintu comes out to reveal to us that he was summoned by the DCI because David Jr. has reported him that he is invading a family that he has been in charge of. Now he has grabbed it from him. Now remember the other video that I did, I showed you a reaction in which David Jr. was so much mad at Gintu, and the entire family, he came to ask them why particularly they were trying to send him out of the home. And I was like, why does David Jr. want to cry? Why does he want to cry now that Gintu has appeared in this family and there is a subscriber who wants to do a house for them? Why does he want to cry? And he's telling them that they can never get the help that he has helped or offered them all through. I'm like, really? Skamaro says, I've learned many new words from him. You will really learn a lot of vocabularies, very many vocabulary from Skamaro, from Gintu. He uses a lot of vocabulary that I don't know even where he gets it. Anyway, it's so weird. So when I saw that video where David Jr. was almost crying, he was almost in tears, by the way. He was speaking with a lot of emotions, asking, which woman? Which one? Yet, he had watched the video. He had seen clearly that one of his subscribers who was tired with him had actually moved away to call Gintu and have a plan to do a house and a chicken project for Matiko. And that lady said that regardless of this family being having Matiko as a drunkard, she understands that they can go through a reformation process slowly. So the lady testified that she's ready to actually transform the family. And I don't know why now David Jr. had to come around and say, did you tell the kids not to greet me? Did you tell them, I don't know, not to relate with me? Look at this. And he had to claim and hold Bushere and call Godfrey. Yet, he had retrieved a bicycle that was gifted to this boy Godfrey. He had also retrieved the cows that were gifted to him. He had also retrieved the motorbike. Of course, maybe he may say he's right about the motorbike. But then, even if he's right about the motorbike, what I wonder is if the people were actually buying it for Matiko, why did he register it in his name? Even though we know that Matiko is a drunkard and he did not deserve it, why did he allow them to buy for him? Therefore, because no one deserves anything. If people feel like they have to donate towards someone something, maybe it's a process of reformation. Who knows? So the drama here is just funny. Because Matiko in the other end, we've realized that he went to flouse around Shagwa's place with the motorbike, and he did not take anything, even even a cent. Chagwa has a small baby, a baby bouncing boy. I don't want to show those videos, but then he goes around that place. He shows the lady that now I have a motorbike, just to make her see how prosperous he's becoming, but he does not take anything. Like a real person, he should have done shopping, maybe taken some diapers, taken some sugar to the lady, at least to appreciate the presence of that daughter, but at the son. But unfortunately in Nyabohanse, because people are used to donations, Marwa has taught them that you can have money, but you don't have to use it. Wait upon the sponsors. Let the donors do their work. So these people have learned that they can actually survive without working. They can survive without using their own money. So Matiko has decided that they'll take care of his children without him participating. That is why he's even smiling his teeth, 24 teeth outside, because Gintu has finally come and there is a subscriber willing to do much for him. So they'll carry him peke without Skamarwa. Well, Skamarwa is asking whose son is it? We are not sure anyway. But according to if we follow David Jr.'s script, it is Matiko's son. But if we come with the reactors and what have you, they don't know whether it is David Jr.'s or whoever it is. They are not sure whose child it is. But according to what David Jr. always tells us is that Matiko's son. In fact, I was surprised why he did a video and called that video, I went to visit the ex-wife of Matiko. I was like, were you supposed to have actually fixed the name Matiko there? Why wouldn't you just say, I went to visit Chagwa? So there's a lot on the streets. People are not sure whether it is the son of this guy or whichever it is. I don't know. Actually, I'm faint about bringing that child in the video because I don't want to. But we will know. As the drama continues, we'll actually have to get to know, because recently, David Jr. was actually telling people on the live stream when they asked whether he's gay, he said that they should bring the sisters so that he breaks their backs. So who knows? We don't know. We don't actually. He told the people who are asking him whether he's gay or not that they can bring the sisters, at least 2 of them or themselves. Then he can break their backs and they'll know. So whatever it is, we will know as time goes by. But it's so funny about the dramas around this place, because at this rate, we don't know who to trust, what to believe, and what to follow. So Matiko actually came out with with Gintu today, just some few minutes ago. And Gintu was trying to say how David Jr. has reported him to DCI. I'm like, the DCI in Nyabohanza are also funny. How do you allow yourself to receive such stupid cases? Yeah, I wouldn't be a DCI and you come to me with such a case. The drama in Nyabohanza.
Exactly, it got very meticulous. Kila kitu iko sawa. So sai kuna mna gani? Mimi niko sawa. Kila kitu iko chonjo. Chonjo kabisa. Exactly. I wanted to ask you a question. Nilikuwa nataka nikuulize swali. Because I'm asked this, nimeulizwa swali na DCI. Leo. I was in DCI office because alienda akasema he owns you. Yani yeye anawamiliki. Alikuwa anawamiliki kama familia. Is it real? Ni uongo mwana. Anatumiliki aje? I'm just wondering because I'm wondering about that. Because I was told this person is complaining about he owns this family and is the one who is allowed to sponsor or help them. And what I'm going to be asking is, does he have the legal documents to show that Matiko has signed, this is me, Matiko, and this person want to support us and have agreed. Thank you. It's only we are supporting what is coming. Tuna support na kitu iko. Ile alikuja ndivyo ataenda. Mwingine ataingia afanye aende. We are here to help and go. There's another person you talk about Gintu, something you never did good. Let me send somebody else and come and finish where Gintu never finished.
I'm getting a lot of fun in this.
The same, Panadol Advance with its unique Optizol technology.
What is this?
Kuna kesi ilipelekwa huko. Eti wanasema kwamba nilikuja kumvamia hapa, nikamtoa project yenye alikuwa anawafanyia. Sasa sijui kulikuwa na project yenye alikuwa anafanya.
Mimi naweza ongea hivi. Wewe Gintu hauna shida. Yaani wewe hauna shida ya kuja kuingia. Wewe ulituma kuja hapa.
Yeah.
Kuna mama mwenye alipiga simu akasema anataka tuongee na wewe.
Exactly.
Yaani mimi sina kamera narusha vitu kwa kamera kwa mtandao.
Exactly.
Sasa kama huyo mama aliona kuna shida hapa nyumbani akakutuma kuja hapa.
Yeah.
Sungekuja.
Exactly.
Sasa kama ulikuja ni makosa.
Kwanza nilikupigia simu.
Ulinipigia tukaongea.
I called her first so she can agree. If she agrees, it will be so nice.
Oh my
but
God.
I was talking about I came and I intruded direct without consulting anyone. Then I started shooting a video, which is false things that are always written. And these are the things that we ought. Hey.
So I really just wonder because at this rate, why would David Jr. begin a fight with Gintu? Because Gintu is now going to help Matiko. And of course, all of us had that call, unless it was a scripted one, which I don't believe was. And unless it's a lie, which I've seen a lot of other people who talk about Gintu as a liar, unless it is, then I don't see why anyone. Because if David Jr. really wants to continue helping, he can continue helping. And Gintu can also continue helping. So I don't see why all these people are fighting here. I don't just understand. I really find trouble in the fact that
Even
maybe
I was looking at how this kind of the people are looking.
the only thing that I see that these people have some interest, maybe side interest. Maybe they know that if they stop helping a certain child here, there is another stream of money that is going to be eliminated from their end. Otherwise, I don't see why we would actually be unhappy that someone is coming to build a house in a home that you are paying fees for kids. You continue paying your fees for the kids as he continues building the house. And you don't have to question and stop anybody. That is what I just feel. But anyway, that is Nyabohanza for them.
It's only like I was a mother and we were in the police station. It seems like these people don't want to see like other people can do what they can do and we can do it better. Which
all right, you do better if you wish. Anyway, let's get to Marwa. Marwa was actually sharing out some things right here. And there is something I just saw here.
And this is what has happened here. Because this guy has not painted here. And again, not bad, but you know, the reason of putting paint is not just to decorate, but it's also to protect this thing. Who is the husband? reach 1,000.
Yeah.
Ateno earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. See even the fire going off, and she can't even push the firewood. So when people started complaining like that, I had a meeting with her. I told her.
Okay, so Marwa actually in this video was sharing a lot as he prepares for the coming of the in-laws, and he was indicating that he doesn't know what to do to Louis. Louis is a busy person and they are coming to stay for 2 months. He doesn't know how to engage him. And I was like, but the villa is a full of beehive activities. It's a beehive of activities. If Louis decided to come to the villa, he knows what he'll do. He has to find something, or you come up with a schedule for him, because he's a man. Of course, he will not be spending a lot of time with Rocio or anybody else. At least the mother and the sisters will be spending time with Rocio. But when it comes to Louis, he will squarely rely on you. And for you to have accepted to have him for 2 months, because you are in Argentina, you are telling us that you are in Argentina for 6 months, and therefore you understand what your father-in-law requires. So you should have a schedule already, because you are the host. This is a visitor. You don't have to ask us on the internet, because already you have told us that if we see things, we keep complaining, we keep pointing out what you have to do, yet we cannot do for you. Of course we can't. We can only give advice, That's what we do online, but we can't come to your home and do anything. Yeah? So Marwa came up saying that, and I was like, what exactly is he trying to say?
She said that she respects what is going on, but is taking care of the vegetables in terms of plucking them the correct way. All of them, and put lights, security lights, put CCTV cameras, put electricity running all around, an electrical fence on top of that.
Okay.
And also another project will be the kitchen. I'll finish. The kitchen is kind of done. I just need like 2,000 US, not 2,000, let's say 3,000 to be in the safer side. 3,000 US, and that will be done. Yes, there are more things that I need to add. I need to add more cameras. We still have cameras. You can see they are right there. Every corner. And at night they light. I don't know if they can light right now, like this one here. But I don't think it's dark enough. Hello, camera. You can see me? Yes. It can't light up. So, as I'm telling you is, I am working. Let's see what these guys are doing here. My pigeons look
My
fantastic
goodness.
here. We have thousands.
It's so funny actually how Marwa goes around the compound. I'm just looking at him. I'm like, when I become like him, that is having the wealth, the big villa. Though I don't plan to have a big villa. What I need is just a 4-bedroom house. 4-bedroom house with a good sitting, dining, and a kitchen. I don't need a villa actually. And maybe if I need a fish pond away from the home, not around the home, and then a swimming pool somewhere and all that, and a playing ground for kids. I don't need so big space as in terms of a house. So Marwa goes around his home smiling, at the same time challenging the subscribers that he has a project worth 3,000 USD, a kitchen. Hey, my goodness. 3,000 USD. Let me see how much is that. That is 520 thousand Kenyan shillings for a kitchen. That's what he need. And he goes to the fish pond.
Of fishes here. Thousands, I'm telling you. They will be even close to 50,000.
Okay.
It's because this camera can't zoom, but we have millions. Let me show you. They're running away. I wish I can put a camera like this and they come there and you see them.
The millions of fishes come out.
This is one of the greatest features of this house. Looks paradise. Mara hapo ukienda kuchuna mboga, unachuna kabisa ile ya nini? Wakona huko. ama Mosabi akufunze. Sitaki. Wanasema wewe ndio unavunja ama si wewe. Sasa mbona wanakuekelea? Haufai kukatazwa. Wewe ndio uchune mboga, lakini uchune mboga na ustaarabu. Utaambia Mosabi akufunze kuchuna mboga hivyo tu, mimi sina shida. Tunakubaliana? Hakuna mtu anafaa kukataza kuchuna mboga. So guys, that is the madam was telling me the story about. Guys, look at this. Even one thing I'm thinking of doing in future is I will have chairs. I will create a space, especially here. I will make it very.
So Marwa will create chairs around the fish pond so that you can see the millions of fish out of the water. And so here he was showing us the changes in the villa. The painting is almost over. The beds are now here. And so he came around the compound addressing a lot of people, especially the subscribers, telling them, you keep complaining about what I have here and here and here, but you can't do that for me. If you can't do it, then just keep off. I was like, people will not keep off. As long as I expose anything in public, all the vlogs I've, for example, shared, I expect anybody to do a reaction if they want, to talk about it, to challenge me. And through that challenge, maybe I learned something, one or two. But I cannot go and counter them and tell them that you don't say this, because why did I put in public in the first place? Once I put in public, whatever people say is out of control for me. And of course, even if anyone goes to court for any case of what people have said, they'll say, why did you show this? And when you showed this, out of this, we saw this, okay? So he also went ahead to say that even those close in the family sometimes kind of bring down him whenever he does things. And I was just like, of course, the only people who have brought you down, because your sister Dimwango has always praised you, said you are the only role model in his life. Your mother has never brought you down. David Jr. has never. The only person who has brought you down is Rocio, who has ever said that the beds in the house, she's not happy with them, they are boring. She even also challenged you about the nets and all that. And when she said that, she said she is also part of the problem. So I don't know why you had to talk about it and say that when a family member also addresses it. You people, you are content creators and you keep making content about everything. I think you should bear it in your mind that if you want to talk about your public matters, you talk about them. But if you blame each other and point fingers, each of you is earning a lot of money. Rocio is earning a lot of money on YouTube, you too. So if you have any problem with whatever you have in your home, you amend it. You have ability to amend it. The problem is you want to save so much from what you make and use other people's money. And that's why sometimes you delay on making improvements on what you can do. Anyway, there's a lot of progress in the villa. We are just waiting upon the arrival of the in-laws who are going to stay here for 2 months. If they are saying that in January, that's when they leave. So we expect them any time from now, because November is already rolling. We are on the 5th day. So of course we are expecting them within the 2 or 3 days, they should be arriving. And the Mercedes-Benz should be picking them in Nairobi, so that now we see life changing in the villa. Okay? So let's see here. He was actually saying that the father-in-law will come and will have interest in ugali, and he will actually be eating chicken and eggs around the place. I was like, but you also have to prepare for the food they eat in Argentina. You already know. I don't think they forced you to eat only Argentina food when you are in Argentina. Maybe you know better. Why am I even going into that? You know better than myself, okay? So
ready for my in-laws.
he is ready for the in-laws now. That's what he said. Okay? Because the bathrooms, everything, the couches, the beds have been set.
Benelux executive #1. Let me see outside. Now all is left is to rearrange the room. First clean it, then arrange. We have a lot to do. We have a lot to do, but hey, you see, the house looks new now. And actually, it's been a while since they last painted this house. It's been a while. Flowing downstream. They want to be washed. We prepare them. You see, My birds are making noise. Sure. Sure. They are making noise from here. Some fish and restock it. And then I will start rearing fish officially here. Because I don't know any other thing that I should do. I don't know even if this place has fishes or not. I actually don't. But I will try and fence it up. I nearly forgot that the owners
Sikuwa nakwambia yeye anasema strong tea. Si kulikuwa na maji. Ulikuwa muuliza kama atakunywa na mkorogeo huko.
Actually sold us the land plus the trees. But it turns around, turns to a surprise that later they came on to say, oh, yeah, we sold you land, yes, but we didn't sell you the trees. So we want you guys to pay. Actually, for me, they didn't tell me this. They talked to my dad because it's my dad who did the transaction. And they started cutting the trees. So I told Jamaican uncle, you know what, we can let them cut their trees and we can plant ours. We can plant very nice trees, probably even much better than whatever is available, you know. Or whatever.
All right, so the trees were sold inside the land. Maybe the owner realized they underquoted and therefore they came up with a trick and were able to win over Condad. And finally, they are cutting their trees. So Marwa is promising Jamaican uncle that they can plant better version of trees than what is available. All right? Yeah.
Stay with us. We are thinking at least they will stay a minimum of 2 months. So that means November and December, they will be here. And if they are going back, they will be going early next year, 2026. It's also a good opportunity for them to see Kenya, to also see Africa. And you know, my in-laws, especially my father-in-law, is an old man. I can't wait for me and him to be cruising around here as I show him things about Africa and him eating ugali and chicken and eggs. And one thing I'm a little, say, nervous about, not really nervous, but I don't know who is staying here. This is crazy. They're planting, they're weeding for the trees. I'm saying one thing I'm trying to figure out, or you can actually help me figure out this, is how to keep my father-in-law busy. Because I lived with him for a long time, close to 6 months plus. And one thing I discovered is I'm now entering officially to my sister's.
Yeah, so Marwa said that the father-in-law is a very busy man. He does not sit idle. I was like, maybe he's coming on a holiday. What's up? So why are you actually nervous about it? You have a beehive of activities in the villa, and also Nyabohanze is big. You have 2 big vehicles. You can move around. You can do a lot of stuff, and before you know it, 2 months will be over. So why worry about 2 months? I thought it's maybe 6 months or something. But 2 months, just a short while. You will be surprised how fast it will go, as long as there will be no much drama between you and Rocio. As the visitors come, you cool down your dramas and refocus your energy. And with constructions going on, doesn't he love constructions? He will be also visiting with you. You make videos around as we keep reacting. So Marwa had to go even to the next project that they are doing for the Abalosas, and he still told us that he doesn't have enough money. And I was like, why did you start before you have money? You could have had something semi-permanent for them. But you know, money doesn't speak. When money is in the pocket, people always keep quiet. When it is not there, they keep complaining. But then when we see someone who has always complained that they don't have money, yet they are working, be very cautious about these people. These people are actually draining you so that they remain with the money in their pocket, and they'll be laughing at you when you'll be saying you don't have. Currently, Jamaica has a lot of problems. We've seen Jamaica is experiencing a serious problem. 90% of the town is destroyed, or rather affected. And therefore, I expect people like Maro, who have received a lot of support from Jamaica, to be now taking their chance to actually tell us that we are donating this amount to Jamaica. I shouldn't just see them sending condolence and messages like us, you know. Personally, if I had a way to actually even send a parcel to Jamaica without it being charged, I would do so. Like, I would send food, I would send clothes, because these people are suffering, they need us. But Marwa is just very busy focusing on himself and his projects. He only sent a message the way we people send and kept quiet about it. And he can only comment or drop some small comment about it. And I feel so bad about it, because the Jamaican people really love him. They have come for him so strongly. We have to learn that when we receive, we also give. When we receive, we also give, especially when people have disaster. These ones have a real disaster, not like the disaster he created in Nyabohanse and told us on live stream that if he announces even a disaster for 1 month, people will donate 1 million and will do nothing. Now he's proving to be someone very selfish, because currently is a moment to send, even if it is $100 to Jamaica, so that we see that money helping the Jamaicans. But he's just there talking about his project, what he'll do, what he will do, what he'll do, preparing to receive a palosa, preparing to receive the mothers-in-law. He doesn't have a ticket for them to return, and he doesn't have money to sustain them for 2 months. I'm like, oh no. This is unfortunate. So the Jamaicans people actually require a lot of help. And I don't know why the government, Kate and who else, commented on the fact that we have products that have arrived at the airport and they have not distributed to the people. What are they waiting for? Because if people, what are they waiting to happen before they can distribute the aspects they have to the people? Let them give the whatever people need, actually, instead of actually talking about it, you know. It's such a shame on the government. And I know that authorities have their own things to do. They have their own methods, but let them also create channels so that the Jamaicans will receive relief, and that relief will reach them when they really need it. Yeah. So we have actually gone through 1 hour 23 minutes, and that is enough for us. I hope those who watched have learned something from our video. We talked about Bahati and his apology. I don't know what you think about it if you go watch the song Seti and Amenipendelea, which he dropped. OGA OBINNA about defamation. And you can also go check on that case with Black whatever and all those I mentioned, and see details about that. And also now check on Nyabohanse stuff and what is happening. What is your thought about it and the drama that are going on? So thank you so much for watching, and let us actually continue to support this channel. Like the video, comment, drop your comments respectively, and realize that I'm just here to critique. I'm not here to hate anybody, because what do I gain from hating anybody? Some people don't want us to say these things, but if we don't have those people who will say them, then we have a generation to save. It is not only the people we are talking about. Those ones are just currently the people we are using to talk, just like characters in books. But at the end of the day, we have people who learn from what we share here. We have those who learn. Actually, if there are those who don't want to listen, there are those who listen and they know that we are dropping some things of importance. So let me quickly check those who are watching, because I was, at some point, I was disconnected from seeing those who are participating. And then I closed the chapter, but I really appreciate. So let me check on this. I close the chapter. So let me appreciate those who participated. Of course, we had Canadian Prospect, we had Skamarwa, we had Stephen we had Stephen Matinde, we had who else? Stephen Matinde was asking how is Dimwango? I've not checked on Dimwango. I'll be checking on them maybe tomorrow. Pauline Baye was here. NXS was here. Diamond Lab Diagnostics was here, and many others. So thank you so much. Let's meet again tomorrow in many other videos. Maybe for tomorrow I'll have an answer for Stephen Matinde, who asked how is Dimwango. So thank you so much, and bye bye for now.